Howdy friendos, and welcome to my weekly roundup. Happy 1st of October! That's right, I'm doing a special roundup this week. I'm dispensing with the usual reviews of Blu-rays that I've watched this week in lieu of sharing with you guys the movies that I have picked out of my collection to watch throughout the month of October. The horror movies. As probably a lot of you folks do, every October, starting October the 1st for me, I watch pretty much nothing but horror movies. I have 35 movies picked out here. I've got Blu-rays, I've got HD DVDs, and I have some DVDs. And one thing that I'm really excited about is the bulk of these, and I believe about, I think I counted 25 Blu-rays and HD DVDs. So the bulk of my horror movie watching this year will be in high definition, which is very exciting because I'm getting tired of DVD. But yeah, I thought about doing a separate video, sharing my picks for the month of October, my horror movies that I was going to watch leading up to Halloween. But then I realized this format would be better because you guys are used to this format going long. And I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible, so a lot of these movies I'm just going to show and move on. Some of them I'll stop and comment on, but let's dig right in. I'm excited. I can feel it in the air, man. Right now it's that fall feel, you know, that cool cool breeze. You know, you want the pumpkins on your porch, you want them lit, and yeah, so let's start. Dawn of the Dead on Blu-ray. I've had this for a while. I picked it up on a video we did on Kakalaki Movies, like, I don't know, 10 months ago. Still in a wrapper. Have not seen this on Blu-ray. This will be my first experience. I've heard good things about this transfer. Day of the Dead's not in my stack, by the way, because I've watched it so many times lately. That kind viewer sent us the Arrow release. By the way, these are in no particular order, although I have saved for last the movies that I watch closer to Halloween, if not on Halloween itself. So we'll talk about that more when I get closer down in the stack. Next up is another movie I haven't taken out of the wrapper yet, and that is The Lost Boys. Have not seen this on Blu-ray, don't know what the picture quality is like, but this is one I have to watch every October. Another one I still haven't seen on Blu-ray, but I've had it in my collection for a long time, and that is Planet Terror. Yes, I know, the full Grindhouse experience. I saw Grindhouse in the theater, and, of course I love it. I'll eventually get that. But I've watched Death Proof too many times lately, and this I'm really looking forward to. I've heard it looks outstanding. Gotta revisit the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Blu-ray. I know some of you guys probably saw the Blu-ray bullshit. It was actually DVD bullshit. That we did over at Kakalaki Movies is actually an old review that we shot last year and just now put up. We talked about the DVD edition of this and how great it looked, but the Blu-ray is worth the upgrade, definitely. Drag Me to Hell, a new instant classic. In my opinion, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Sam Raimi at the top of his form. And I'm going to go out on an even bigger limb and say this is on par with the Evil Dead movies. So that leads me directly into Evil Dead. More 16mm horror goodness on Blu-ray. This looks equally as it's stunning and awesome as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They did a fantastic. You wouldn't believe the way this looks. You can't even imagine. This is a must-own if you love this movie on Blu-ray. Alright, next up, got a couple of movies here that is going to divide my audience right down the middle. The Rob Zombie Halloween, which I initially didn't care for, and his Halloween 2. Obviously, I've warmed to these movies. I enjoy watching them, and I enjoy watching them in October. So, there you go. Rob Zombie and all of his movies, that is fodder for another discussion. I could go on for an hour about that. The original Friday the 13th, that's a must-watch every October and every Friday the 13th. I Am Legend, which, you know, this is technically, you know, this is a post-apocalyptic movie, but it kind of has, you know, there are obviously horror elements in it, very obviously. But, I don't know, it just felt right. You know, you just, I'm going by my gut instincts on these picks. So, next up, this is another must-watch for me every year, Poltergeist. What can I say? The Mist, another new horror classic in my opinion, Frank Darabont. I prefer the color version. I have watched the black and white version, and while it's interesting, I still prefer the color version. Another one that I can't get enough of, and I actually have been wanting to watch this. Actually, I've been wanting to watch a lot of these movies in the past couple of months, because in August, you know, in August there's that day where you get that first whiff of autumn. You know, there's that first day where it gets cool all of a sudden. You're like, what's going on? And you get that feeling inside. And then you get the impulse to watch horror movies. Well, I got that impulse, but I restrain myself. You know, it's like sexual repression. Probably not healthy, but I'm going to gorge myself throughout this month. So 30 Days a Night, I've watched numerous times and have been wanting to watch. Another new horror classic, in my humble opinion. And yet another new horror classic, and I'm talking about films from the past 6 to 7 years. Slither on HDDVD. Have not watched it in high definition. This is a really fun movie. Dawn of the Dead, another, I guess, newish classic in my opinion. Obviously, this is the remake. I can watch this in the original Dawn of the Dead. They're apples and oranges. You know, they're like the book The Shining versus the Stanley Kubrick version. Or, if you want to say the Stanley Kubrick version versus the miniseries. I can enjoy both for different reasons. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I've had it for a very long time. My Bloody Valentine in 3D. With the 3D glasses, of course. This is going to be fun, and I've got another 3D movie in here I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch them back to back. Actually have it right here. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. These two movies, this is going to be one night. This is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I haven't seen, I've never seen this movie at all. And obviously I've seen Friday the 13th, Part 3, but I've not seen it in Blu-ray. I've never seen it in 3D. So I'm looking forward to this night. This is going to be a lot of fun. Alright, moving on. A new acquisition. This is one of those movies that I got for $1 from Blockbuster. Sleepy Hollow on Blu-ray. You know, I mean, this movie just has the atmosphere. This just brings the atmosphere of October. And it's a must-watch. Shaun of the Dead, a movie that, this is on HD DVD. I initially, the hype machine surrounding this movie when it initially was released in theaters just kind of killed the buzz for me. I am now ready to revisit, and I know I will enjoy. I need to get my zombie on. The Frighteners. I have not seen this movie in years, and honestly, this is probably going to be like watching it for the first time. I don't know how the transfer is on this HD DVD, but the cover is really cool. Right. Moving on, getting into some DVDs here finally. This is a movie that I talked about last Halloween. If you guys, some of you guys remember over at Cackalacky Movies, I did a video for Halloween itself where I was doing a horror movie marathon, and this was on the list of movies to watch, but I never got around to it. And it's a double feature, and they're movies that I've been meaning to watch for a very, very long time. And even back, you know, before you could get them on DVD, I was going to get them from, what's the website? Cinephere.com. Any of you guys ever visit Cinephere? I was going to order the VHS. Bloodthirsty Butchers and The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here. Kind of obscure stuff here, but I always need to throw in some really low-budget garbage horror, you know, in the mix. Alright, moving on. Vampyr, or Vampyr, or Vampire, or whatever you want to call it. Carl Theodore Dreyer's black and white film. I picked this up at the Criterion sale, and I was going to watch it, and I was like, you know what? It started getting, again, in August, and at that point I was like, I'm going to throw this in the mix with the horror films. Alright, next is another DVD from last Halloween, and I'm trying to remember which movie I watched and which one I didn't. But it has The Pit and Hellgate on it. And I want to say I watched The Pit, but I didn't watch Hellgate. If any of you guys remember, please jiggle my memory. But yeah, I think it was Hellgate that I didn't watch. Next up, a movie that I've never seen. I've been holding on to it for a long time, and it's finally time to watch it. I need more zombie in my October, and that's Fido. It's got a lot of great reviews, supposed to be funny. I don't know. Next up, two movies that are must-see movies, you know, during the month of October, in my opinion, at least. That would be The Blair Witch Project. I need to get this on Blu-ray. I need to behold the shoddy, dingy, black and white 16mm footage on Blu-ray. I really do. But DVD will do for now. Another movie I would like to see released on Blu-ray, and as a matter of fact, I'm sure it'll be released within the next year, and maybe next October I can watch it on Blu-ray. That's Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, which is highly underrated in my opinion. I mean, when it came out, it was an obvious disappointment for a variety of reasons that I won't go into here, because I don't have time. One thing I like about this release, you know, they just don't... It's got the actual soundtrack on one side and the movie on the other. Little cool things like that. And then, of course, it has the insert. I mean, no big deal, but they just don't put that kind of care into releases anymore, you know? But let me know what you think about Book of Shadows. I love this movie. This is eminently rewatchable for me, at least. Night of the Living Dead. This is the 1990 remake, I believe. Yeah, this is, yep, this is Savini's film. And, I'm looking forward to, watching this. I'm going to watch this in lieu of the original Romero. I'm just going to stick with Dawn of the Dead. Another favorite of mine, Return of the Living Dead. And yes, I know this has been released on Blu-ray, so if I happen to snag this at a good deal during the month, because we're getting down to the stack now. We're getting to closer to Halloween. And so I'm going to hold out on this and hope to pick up the Blu-ray. By the way, any of you guys have this on Blu-ray? How's the transfer? Is it worth the upgrade? Alright, now, this is very close to my heart, as I'm sure it is to many of you, and that would be It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Now, of course I had to have this on Blu-ray. I've seen this on Blu-ray. I got it from Netflix back, you know, a couple of years ago when I actually had their Blu-ray service. I could go on a Netflix rant right now, but I'm not going to. Yes, I haven't unraveled this yet. I've been holding on to it, waiting. Actually, want to savor the moment, unravel it. Here's my tradition with this little film. I watch it early in October. Like, I may watch it, you know, this weekend. Probably I'll watch it this weekend. And then I'll watch it again very close to Halloween, and I'll watch it on Halloween night as well. So I'll watch it at least twice, if not 3 times, during the month of October. This movie, I'm going to talk for a minute. This movie really taps into the emotions of my childhood. More so almost than anything else. I don't know. I can sit back and it really takes me to that place. And so I don't know. I've got special love for the Great Pumpkin, as I'm sure a lot of you do. Next up, the original Halloween on Blu-ray, which I finally just recently acquired. In fact, there's a video of me acquiring it if you want to go, look. It's I think the name of the video is an FYI about FYE. But yeah, I'm curious about this. By the way, let me go ahead and plug another one of my videos while I'm at it. Yeah, you're probably wondering, am I going to watch any of the other Halloween movies? And that's kind of up in the air. I mean, I've got 35 movies here. Here's the thing. I didn't want to mess with my Halloween cube. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a cube with all of the Halloween movies and a couple of special editions and a Michael Myers. I'm going to put a link if you want to go check out my Halloween collection, my Halloween movie collection, and by Halloween I mean the franchise. I'm thinking about watching, I'll probably definitely try to watch number 4, because it's got that good feeling, that good vibe, that good October, touch. I haven't decided on that yet, though. Haven't decided. Who knows? I could go crazy and go on a Halloween marathon. So next up, and again we're down to the movies that I'm going to watch the few days right before Halloween. The Shining, what can I say? I mean, that's a movie I watch throughout the year. Top 5 movies of all time. Trick or Treat, and the movie I have not unraveled. I've actually been holding on to this since Best Buy's horror movie sale of last year. I think that's how long I've been holding on to this. But this again, this taps into that feel. They did a fantastic job. I think it's a sham that this got such a limited release, but fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. This is another watch every single year. John Carpenter's The Thing, HDDVD. Looks pretty good. Transfers pretty good. They could have done better, but I won't go into all of that. And I'm not going to talk about the remake because it's not here. I probably won't plunk down $10 to see it at the theater. Probably wait for Redbox. Who knows? The Fog, another John Carpenter movie. John Carpenter knows how to make, he makes movies that people want to watch on Halloween, doesn't he? Yeah, this movie is all kinds of atmosphere right here. I need to have this movie on Blu-ray. And I'm sure I will pretty soon. And last but not least, a new movie that I will be watching every year. It's called Trick or Treat. It's not, obviously, it's a different Trick or Treat. This movie was sent to me by a very kind viewer, and I'm not conjuring his name at the moment. I should have written it down. So if you're watching, let me know. Say, hey man, it's me. And we'll definitely converse about it. And I've been meaning to do a solo review of it, but then, October passed. So this October, I'm really going to try to get to a solo review of this movie because more people need to know about this movie. It's just, again, I keep saying taps into, but it really does tap into the whole feeling of October and Halloween. Great fun movie from the 80s. Unfortunately, it's the full screen version. The anamorphic version is not even available. But what I do is I just watch it in my bedroom on my old 4.3 CRT television. So that way it's okay for me. Alright folks, that's my stack. I believe that was 35 movies. The bulk of them high definition. So here's the thing. In the comments, let me know what movies you plan on watching for Halloween. And if you feel like it, make a video response showing me movies that you have picked out. They can be on DVD, Blu-ray, they can be on VHS. I was going to pick out some movies, old movies on VHS for the nostalgia factor, but then I started getting so many high def, I decided, you know what, this October I'm really looking for the high def experience. But guys, if you want to make a video response, that would be awesome. Of course, I'll watch every single one. Leave a comment. I enjoy the hell out of the video responses. But yeah, I'm very curious about what people are planning on watching during the month of October. And if you even get into that. If you watch horror movies during the month of October. So that'll do her. I'm TheKrazyJason. Thanks for watching.